Hello, everyone. It is Bob. Welcome back to Modern Life for the 70s Mind. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to a little bit of what I have to say. Today's going to be a little different. 25 years ago today, on October 12th, 1997, John Denver passed away. That was such an incredibly sad day, and I have so many wonderful memories of him. I was lucky enough to see him in 1974. And what was really cool about that particular concert tour is that when he was in LA, they recorded it for an album, and the album is called An Evening with John Denver. If you ever have a chance to listen to that album, it's awesome. And what's neat about it, it has the same musicians as what I saw, because it was taken right at the same time, same tour and everything. The songs are the same. The song order was even the same from the concert. So whenever I start thinking John Denver, I put that on because it just brings me back to the time when I saw him. And it was such a down-to-earth, just a fun evening with John Denver. He is one of the reasons I picked up guitar again. And when I was very young, my parents took me for guitar lessons. And then I kind of got away from it for a while. But then I started listening to John Denver. And he kind of motivated me to pick up the guitar again. And I started playing. So thank you, John, for that. So to kind of put everything in perspective with him, I wanted to pick out two of my favorite songs and play them. And I looked for live clips, not studio clips, because seeing John Denver live is such a special thing, and he creates this mood and atmosphere that you're just not going to get from like an audio clip or some studio clip. So let me get my headphones on, and we're going to get right into this, and I will be right back. Hold on. Okay, I am back. I've been thinking about this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my comments pretty much to a minimum. Instead, I'm just going to let John show us what he did and let him sing to us, entertain us, because that's what he liked to do anyways. You know my thoughts already of what I thought of John. I thought his music was such an inspiration. And not only to me as a listener, but I guarantee you he was an inspiration to a lot of artists and musicians, and I'm sure he influenced their music in many ways. So why not let John just show us what he does? He is going to be singing here Calypso, which is by far one of my favorite songs. And it is from the concert he did in Japan. When I pulled up the video, it didn't show me the year that this was from, but I did a little research, and I believe this is from 1981. So we're going to go with that. So, all right. So here's John Denver singing Calypso.
To sail on a dream on a crystal clear ocean, to ride on the crest of a wild raging storm.
So good to see him live.
To work in the service of life and the living, in search of the answers to questions unknown. To be part of the movement, part of the growing, part of beginning to understand. Calypso, the places you've been to, things that you've shown us, the stories you tell. I, Calypso, I sing to your spirit, the men who have served you so long and so well.
I love this.
Like the dolphin who guides you, you bring us beside you to light up the darkness and show us the way. For though we are strangers in your silent world, To live on the land we must learn from the sea. To be true as the tide, free as the wind swell, joyful and loving in letting it be. Oh, Calypso, the places you've been to, things that you've shown us, the stories you tell. Calypso, I sing to your spirit, the men who have served you so long and so well. Calypso, the places you've been to, things that you've shown us, the stories you tell. Calypso, I sing to your spirit, the men who have served you so long and so well.
I'm near the end of the song already, so I gotta stop. Sorry, John. I'm only gonna interrupt once, though. His voice is wonderful here, isn't it? It's still really strong. You can see it, and look at this picture. You can see it in his eyes, how much he loves singing to the people. His sincerity in his songs was just so extremely evident, and he always had such a great message to share. You couldn't help but just respect this guy so much. I feel so much sadness when I think of all the songs we missed out on by him being gone. Ugh, there isn't music like this anymore. And I know times change and music trends change, but I just really miss this type of music. So anyways, let's go ahead and finish this off. Okay, yeah, I really was near the end, wasn't I? That's amazing performance of the song. His falsettos are insane, and it's not just because he sings high. The control he has over these, and they're perfect. I think he did that in so many songs. I kind of believe that was like a signature sound of his, was his falsettos. When it comes to great performers, he is right up there. I know when you think of great performers, you think of like a Garth Brooks, who's really entertaining with the fans and he just loves it. John was the exact same way. When you walked away from a concert after seeing him, you felt like you had a friend. And I mean, he could make you laugh, he could make you cry, he could make you dream. But I think most of all, he made you care. He made you care about things that maybe you weren't even aware were issues or things we should care about. He brought that to the forefront, and I thought that was great. His catalog of music is insane. I made a list of I actually wrote it, and then I thought it was a piece of garbage, and I crinkled it up. But I retrieved it from the garbage can. He had songs like these are just off the top of my head songs I like. He had Back Home Again, Rocky Mountain High, Sunshine on My Shoulders, Take Me Home Country Roads, Sweet Surrender, Annie's Song, Summer. I love Summer. It's not a real popular song. It kind of starts out silently, the morning mist is lying on the water. I don't know if you know that song. It's great. You got to listen to that if you don't know it. And Rocky Mountain Sweet is another one that was just amazing. If you want to listen to his music, really go to that concert I talked about and pull up on Spotify or something, An Evening with John Denver. It was a live concert from 1974, I think it was. I forget the year. But what's nice about that concert is you don't only hear how good he is, you get to feel and the emotion of what it's like to be at one of his concerts. So it was really great. I actually enjoy personally his live cuts more than his studio. I never really listened to his studio music. I listen to live music. I just think it sounds better, and he draws you into the music better live. And one other thing I do want to make a comment on, the musicians that he surrounds himself with is insane. All these guys and girls are extremely talented, and every cut I've seen from him, he's been with those people that are that good. He did not put on a show if he didn't feel that he was surrounded with a lot of talent. So great song. Ugh, such a loss. So, all right, let me get the video switched up, and I'll be right back for our second video. Hold on. All right, I am back. If by chance you want to listen to those, especially the song Summer and Rocky Mountain Suite that I talked about, listen to it on the An Evening with John Denver album. That album just gives you the perfect feeling for what his concerts are like, seeing him live. And both of those, oh, they're such good songs, and you got to listen to them. How's that? If you had a chance to see John Denver live, one, you're very lucky. Two, you would see how he sang every song of his from his heart and soul. And again, I can't stress this enough. He just loved and really appreciated his fans. It's just a good, wonderful person, an amazing environmentalist. And I think he just cared about the world we live in, about the people, about his family. There aren't a lot of singers, songwriters that I can compare him to. I'm just so thankful that I've had these, one, I had a chance to see him, and two, that I was able to hold on to these wonderful memories of him. I am not going to interrupt this last song, and I'm not even going to have any final thoughts. When John finished up a lot of his concerts, he would finish up with a song called This Old Guitar. That's a way on many concerts that he finished his concert. He would just be him and his guitar, and he would sing this one final song, and he had a little bit of a story to tell. I believe he tells that same story on this clip. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I watched the very beginning, and it sounded like that's where he was going. So I'm not going to interrupt this, and I'm going to let John kind of lead us out of this video. And again, it's called This Old Guitar, and I love the song. This is actually one I learned on my own to play on my own guitar because I just love the song so much. So this is for John. This is John. And thank you guys for listening, and we'll just let John take us out, okay? Here we go.
This guitar was made in 1910. It belonged to my grandmother. It's the guitar that she played when she was a little girl. And she gave it to me when I was about 12 years old, and it's the guitar that I learned how to play on. And for a large part of my life, I think I had this guitar with me everywhere that I went. I carried it on the farm back in Oklahoma and on wheat harvest. I got hit over the head with it once in a lumber camp up in Washington State. This crack right along here, if you can see it. A fellow was not a Hank Williams fan at all. Anyway, about a little over 5 years ago, I lost the guitar, and it was kind of a sad occasion to me. And the strange thing is that just about the time that it got to be okay with me that I had lost it, I found it again. And this was last January when we were filming our last television special. And I can't really tell you how thrilled I was about getting it back. I couldn't wait to get back to the hotel where I was staying at here in Los Angeles and just sit down and be with the guitar again and play it, you know? And I did that. I got back to the hotel, and we got very comfortable. I told it all that had happened to me since the last time I'd seen it. It told me a few stories. But somewhere in the conversation, we found this song.
You can see how he connects to the audience. It's great.
This old guitar taught me to sing a love song, showed me how to laugh and how to cry. It introduced me to some friends of mine and brightened up some days. It helped me make it through some lonely nights. Oh, what a friend to have on a cold and lonely night. This old guitar gave me my lovely lady. It opened up her eyes and ears to me. It brought us close together, and I guess it broke her heart. But it opened up the space for us to be. What a lovely place and a lovely space to be. This old guitar gave me my life, my living, all the things you know I love to do. To serenade the stars that shine from a sunny mountainside. Most of all, to sing my songs for you. I love to sing my songs for you. Yes, I do, you know. I love to sing my songs for you. I thank you for sharing this evening with us, my friends. Good night.